time is it?
9:30.
How do you do me time?
Time for our on-time drawing, but we can't do that until cover your ears. Cover my kid's ears. All right. On-time drawing.
See if I get it this time.
Lucky 13, so we'll see.
All right. Lucky number is 5.
Wow, that's me.
Johnny 5.
Brian,
Yes.
also known as CJ, is the lucky winner. But make sure you don't touch that table.
Please play right.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. Let's get started. So we don't have Emily here today, so you're stuck with me. She's vacationing in, where's she at? Michigan. Yeah, Michigan. So she's having a good time, so you're stuck with me. So throughout the next hour, take pictures. Take pictures of the speakers, take pictures of me. Take pictures of everybody, so just take pictures. And then check in on Facebook to the Realty One Southwest and make sure that you use the hashtags right up here. All right, so Rev Up training's coming up. Tomorrow is Friday. It's working with buyers and getting your offers accepted. Jeff is the instructor on that. Then Monday, that's live in the office here. Then Monday is via Zoom only. That's winning the listing and negotiating the sale, and John's the instructor on that one. And then next Wednesday, here live, also on Zoom, but better. I'm the instructor, and I'm a whole lot funnier live than on Zoom. So, holding successful open houses next Wednesday here. And then next Friday, Finance and Sale Mortgage Basics. Jim is the instructor. Again, that's live right here. Here's my information. So when you're writing offers, make sure that you put my broker number in there. All right, Zelle. Who's signed up for Zelle? Who's actually received their commissions on Zelle so far? Yeah, I did too. So
My TC made a mistake. You know, so
you didn't get it?
she zelled Nathan Zelly. So he got the Zelly. I'm like, where's my Zelly?
Oh, no.
It's all good. It's all, yeah.
So I signed up. I don't sell a lot of real estate, as you all know, but I did close on my first home in like 3 years on Friday.
And you're at your,
The file is perfect. Thank you, Michael.
But here's what we learned about Zelle this week. That if you have a really, really, really large commission, it will Zelle into your account in smaller portions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well,
There's like a $50,000 max or something.
Yeah.
So, like, let's
But
just say
you
get
still
out
get it all, but it's
50,000,
50. Wouldn't that be great to have that?
Oh, yeah.
She can do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So anyway, so yeah, I closed on a home on Friday. It was for my own personal residence, for myself and Barbara. Yeah, we've been in contract since February, and it was a Pulte home. And so we absolutely love Pulte. And I want to bring somebody up from Pulte that I've known for 11 plus years now. He wasn't my agent, but he's amazing. So he provided the donuts out there. So come on up, Dwayne.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Hey, really awesome segue. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. So just to piggyback off of that, I didn't start my career with Realty One Group. It was a big part of my career. I actually ended my career with Realty One Group, And
You ended your career or your?
general real estate career.
Yeah, all right.
Right. So,
I'm like, what are you doing here if you ended your career?
right, so anyone who sees me in the office, first thing I said, what office do you work at, what company do you work for? I'm a big Realty One guy, right? Any Realty One agents approach me and you get a totally different experience. So 2 things I just want to mention out of everything that I say is what is in it for you and what can I do for you, right? So Pulte's never stopped giving agents 3%. So 3% commission, we've never stopped that, so just keep that in mind. Second thing is we have a lot of inventory now, standing inventory, move-in ready inventory, a lot of incentives that you may or may not see. Pulte's putting a lot of money into their online presence, so you can see some of that, but definitely reach out to me. I'm at the Delamar community. I left some flyers here in front of you. I have some extra. I brought 2 gift cards that Mark's gonna give out to some of his premier agents or future premier agents. Delamar 4 models, 2-story, and I have a 3-story starting around 6 low 6s. Well, obviously, yeah, a lot. Obviously, we have some room for negotiation. So, reach out to me. All my information is on the card. Any type of marketing you want to do, you can always say that, hey, I work directly with Pulte. I know an agent there that I can get all the information. If it's not my community, I can definitely reach out to another agent that can help you guys out. I'll make it short and quick. I really appreciate you guys, all the rest of these flyers.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, brother.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks a lot, guys.
So again, Pulte is Nate Miller. I have a buddy of mine who used to own a real estate company, but now he has a team at a different real estate company. And he sold probably 100 Pulte homes over the year. And he says he recently sold his primary residence, which is Pulte, and he bought another Pulte. He said he'd never lived in another home but a Pulte. So that made me feel good that we made that decision. So anyway, thank you, Dwayne. You're awesome. All right, so we're still collecting water through tomorrow. We've got quite a collection out there, as you have noticed. I think we're still maybe 5 or 6 or 8, I don't know, 100 bottles short of our goal of 4,000. But it's still, even though it's not as hot as it has been in previous summers, it's still pretty hot out there. So, you know, let's you know, collect some more bottles. I'll probably be bringing another, I don't know, 10 cases tomorrow. So let's get there to 4,000. We're not far away. All right. Tomorrow is Cosmic Bowling at, where are we at? Fire something. Yeah, so anyway, we're going bowling tomorrow. Who's going bowling?
Where is it coming?
At Fire.
It's all sunset.
What is it called?
What?
Wildfire.
Wildfire. Yes.
Yeah, not
Okay.
firefly.
Yeah. So we're bowling tomorrow, and for that reason, we're not going to have our happy hour that we normally have the last Friday of every month, because our happy hour is going to be at Wildfire. We'll be having some beverages and throwing some balls. And we also do every Friday. I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be at Tech Forum, LVR Tech Forum. But everyone wears their favorite team's jersey, so wear your favorite team's jersey. This is your weekly reminder about, not really remind, it's more of that transaction desk is going away. So as of September 12th, we will not have transaction desk anymore. LVR is going to remind, however, everybody hates remind. Does anybody here love remind? I can say that times 3. So remind sucks. So as a company, we're going to SkySlope Forms, which is very easy to use, very intuitive. It's already available in SkySlope, and we'll do training. However, the ROG documents are not in there. All of LVR's documents are in there, but ROG documents aren't in there. So we don't want to really do the training, but you can go in there and use it right now. Angel just did a listing, but he helped an agent do a listing yesterday in Sky Slope Forms. And have you used Remind Angel? And you've used Transaction Desk. How does this compare to the other two?
Skyslope Forms is actually really easy. Remind's been probably the most difficult.
Yeah.
It was probably the most learning curve with Remind, but Skyslope, the Skyslope Forms was easy.
Yeah, and without any formal training or anything like that, or informal training for that matter, he was able to get through it. And so yeah, it's super intuitive, super easy to use. So you're welcome to go in there and use it today. So, yeah.
So is SkySub for all of Realty One? Or
All
just
of-
all the offices
Southern Nevada, yeah.
in Southern Nevada?
Yeah.
Because I've talked to other agents in like Great Valley and
Mhm.
Summerlin, and they're still taking Remind because they had no idea that this is going on.
You know,
So.
I can attest that it's brought up in every office's meeting, because I'm in every office's meetings.
well,
So
is
Well, that's
Skyslope
right, because they
Forms
don't go
about
to the
it?
meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I'm just saying that maybe those people aren't attending.
Well,
Yeah,
I just said
yeah,
that.
good,
Oh, yeah,
good,
right, sorry.
good point.
Yeah.
Because everybody brings it up.
So I got,
Because there's what, 25 of you here now? We have 320 agents in the office, so those other 300 are saying, I've never heard of it.
Our phone's gonna all be switched over to here, like, all of our documents for the past 15 years.
There
or
will be
whatever.
training on how to get that out of transaction.
I mean, so it's not gonna go away if we don't switch them to Remind first and then to you guys.
Well, not us,
Well, Sky.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, yeah. So, call transaction desk up and ask them how to move it to.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Johnny, what you got for us?
Hi everyone, happy Thursday. How are you feeling in the market when you go out there? What do you feel?
Fantastic.
Fantastic, right? Yeah, that's the spirit we need to have. I was telling it to myself too. I have to be more positive. I have to be more, enthusiastic. I have to be a lot of positive things to say about my clients, right? Okay. 2 weeks ago, President of Epic Lending came and did a presentation, and he reminded you about the ready, set, sell for the sellers, right? So right now we have builders with brand new houses, so your seller has to be competitive, right? So please remind your sellers to use this program, ready, set, sell, so they can fix the house, they can renovate the house, put new carpets, do cosmetic things to their house and be competitive and more appealing, right? And this one is up to $50,000, and when you sell the property, they can pay it off. And also, you can reach out to your buyers now, because we do have 3-2-1 program to buy down the rate. So your seller can contribute towards the closing cost. We can use that money to buy down the rate. And all these programs we are offering at Epic Lending. Just come and see me for further details. I can help you with your needs, okay? Just reach out to me anytime, call me, text me, email me if you have any questions, okay? Thank you.
So this Ready, Set, Sell program is pretty amazing. When you're out there talking to sellers, just let it, and maybe there's work that needs to be done on the house. You can talk to them about this Ready, Set, Sell program. It is awesome, where they borrow money to fix up the house, and then they get more money for the house. So cool program. Thank you, Shawnee. All right, Stacia, what is happening in the world of home warranty?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody today?
Amazing.
Are we ready for the burr months?
Yes.
Turn it's burr out here, but September, October.
The hot months,
They're just not as hot months, right? I have been so grateful for the rain, but I'm so out of habit with the humidity. I'm just like, I'm from the Midwest, and I'm just out of habit. It's bad when you go into offices in the morning and everybody's like, oh, do you need a water? And I'm like, oh, thanks. And then it's afternoon and you walk in and people are like, do you need a water? I was like, that bad, huh? Sorry. So I hope you're really doing well out there. I'm loving to see the shift in the market, because I think that you have such an amazing support system here, and you'll all be able to hang, whereas there'll be some people out there that won't be able to hang because they've been able to really skate along for the last couple of years and just throw an offer and get it accepted potentially and make some money. And I think that it takes a little more skill, a little more training, and you all offer that. And I just want to remind people that if you haven't yet, if you would sign up for your agent toolbox at orhp.com. Look at the templates that we have. One of the things I know that you have is the, I think you went over it about a month ago, your new like design template for flyers and items like that you have access to. But just please remember that I offer at no additional cost to you door hangers. And we have door hangers, I'm ordering them quite regularly because I go through them, but I have door hangers that say price it right and get it sold. I have door hangers that say if you buy or list with me, that you would offer them a complimentary home warranty through their transaction. And I have ones that will highlight an open house. So you have to manually fill out the address on it and tuck your card into it, but it can really help generate a little more traffic in your open houses. And it is in the mornings a little cooler, so it's not as dangerous to go out there and prospect that way. So please utilize me for those tools. Look online and see what templates we have that might benefit you to grow your business. And as always, if you aren't working with someone that you like, trust, or have confidence in, I would love the opportunity to earn your business or talk to you about it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
So I do want to bring up something about home warranties, and we discussed it a week or two ago, that when you're out there on listing appointments, you need to be letting the seller or the potential seller know about home warranties and putting seller's coverage on. And the reason why is you could be held liable if, for instance, you don't recommend it, something major happens that could cost the homeowner thousands of dollars, and then they're talking to somebody else, and somebody else says, well, didn't you get a home warranty on your home for seller's coverage? And they say, well, my agent never told me about that. You could be liable. Jeff Wallenbank told me that there was an agent at Berkshire Hathaway that got sued and lost. So just offer it out to all your sellers.
A quick plug then, also knowing the agent. Remember that we also offer policies for new construction. You can add that up to 11 months after close of escrow, and it kicks in after year 1 or respectively after year 2, depending on when the builder's warranty expires, for coverage, and it's very affordable. So if you're selling new homes, it just gives your buyer a little bit more protection, a little bit longer through the transaction, and it averages out to less than $220 a year for what that coverage is for 1 to 4 or year 2 to 5. So
How much does it start?
the basic $615 is the ultimate, and the standard, I never sell the standard, but $615 is the ultimate, which the benefit there is that it does the code upgrades, the permits, refrigerant, no cap on refrigerant, so, but $615 for 4 years.
Air conditioner?
Yes, it covers the AC. All of our policies cover all of the built-in appliances and the AC. It's just little different things that might not be covered on the standard that you would upgrade for. But call me and
It's called the Ultimate?
Ultimate is typically what I sell. The Platinum is our highest end, and I'd be happy to talk to you about the differences, but.
Ultimate is ultimate.
Yes, thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for breakfast.
Of course.
All right, Felicia and Stephanie are not here. They're setting up for the MLS Tech Forum. But here is their training calendar, Rock University. So these are all the classes, and we put those flyers back there as well. Plus they'll be in the newsletter that you guys get every Friday. Everybody reads the newsletter?
Yes.
Every Friday, right?
One newsletter.
All right. All right, so now we have Vicki Greco. She's going to talk to us all about why you need an LLC as opposed to just being a just a 1099. All right?
Yep.
So
And
50.
I was gonna introduce David Colmeyer, but he's out there, he'll come in a minute.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me. I'm gonna stand up partially and sit down partially. So I have a little bit of that. Does everybody have a flyer that we gave? Okay. Let me start by, first asking by a show of hands, how many realtors in here are actually a sole proprietor? So how many of you guys are actually already LLC? And on the LLCs, are you guys passed through as S corps? Okay, so that's probably not gonna be beneficial to you, but you understand the value of it.
My accountant, I have a very good accountant.
Yes.
He takes care of everything.
Exactly, so when you are, and that's what I have here, the difference, so I don't wanna bore you, go ahead, oh, you want a flyer?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
Oh, yeah.
So, in the state of Nevada, you can run a business as a sole proprietor. That's what a realtor is when you get out of real estate school, you go to the real estate division, you get your license. A lot of you have like a city business license or a county business license in your own name. As that type of a business, if you follow me here, I make it easy because it can be a little complicated. You have no protection as an individual realtor if you go out. Now, most realtors don't get sued and your errors and omissions insurance cover you in case you do. But even if you were to get sued, and even if your errors and omissions covered it, your credit would go down. The minute a lawsuit is filed, even if you're right, your credit's down. So as a sole proprietor, you have no protection of your credit against personal lawsuits from anybody that might decide to just sue you, whether they have value or merit to their claim. You also have to pay full self-employment taxes. So I don't know if you guys have ever been an employee to anybody, but as an employee, the employer pays your FICA, which is your Medicare, and your Social Security. That comes out, and there's a little diagram here at the bottom, to 15.1%. So for every dollar you make as a 1099 independent contractor, realtor, 15 to 16 cents comes out of that. There are no deductions, bottom line, okay? If you become an LLC, which is the second level here, you get the protection of your credit. So now if somebody sues you, they sue your LLC, your errors and omissions still covers it, and it cannot attach you personally. If you become the third column, the LLC S Corp, okay, the S Corp is a tax status from the IRS that allows you to become an employee to your own company. And so now you get all the benefits that your employers get and all the write-offs. So for example, realtors that are making less than $40,000 a year in commissions, this is not going to affect. But if you're a realtor making $40,000 or more on a 1099 and you become an S Corp, I'll use the example of 100,000 in commissions. On 100,000 in commissions, you have to pay 16,000, that FICA, right off the top with no deductions. As an LLC S Corp, you become an employee, whether it's figuratively or literally, and we can talk about that later if you guys wanna call me, I'll go into depth on that, I don't wanna keep you here all day. But if you do that, you become figuratively or literally an employee of your own company for a reasonable salary, which is usually about 30 to 40,000. All of your other income gets all these write-offs and deductions. For example, how many realtors here have their own health insurance? Are you paying for it out of pocket? If you are not an LLC S Corp and you're making 40,000 or more, you are losing the write-off of 100% of that medical. So for example, just let's use me as an example, I was an employee of a company for half of a year, and then I had my own company for another half of the year. My W-2 came in at like $75,000 and they took out my FICA. but I was gonna still owe like $10,000 because I didn't pay enough into my federal withholding. Because I had my LLC S Corp, I got to deduct all of my car, all of my health insurance. I got to write into my own 401k. And as my literally the own employer of myself, I got to match it. So basically, if you are not an LLC S Corp structured, you lose all of these benefits. The benefits are that you get to be taxed as an S Corp. And for example, on the $100,000, if you were just an LLC S Corp for $100,000 with the $40,000 salary, you're gonna pay $4,000 in FICA versus 16. Okay? And this is something that they don't teach you guys in real estate school. I'm working with the real estate schools to do it, but a lot of the times realtors that first get out of school don't make that kind of money. So it's not beneficial. What's the negative side of being an LLC S Corp? You have to file an additional return. That costs maybe an extra $500 or $600 a year. And the setup and the upkeep, the setup are for, I set up LLC S Corps, and for like $1,000 to $1,100 out the door with filing fees, you can have it. The nice thing about us talking to you guys here today is it's not too late to get in on this for 2022. Because if you were to set up an LLC S Corp this month or next month, it kind of crosses and can go back to all of your commissions if you have a good accountant that you were still doing as a 1099 independent contractor. Does anybody have any? You can only go back this year. So let's say if you file an LLC today and you do not elect for the 2553 form with the IRS to be taxed as an S Corp, you won't get it. You have to file it within 2.5 months. But any realtors here that are LLCs that didn't do the S Corp can get it for the following year, 2023, as long as it's filed by March 15th. So you can always add the S Corp status if you want the personal protection. There's some businesses that have such high liability, but they don't want to have the S Corp. Here's a value add. If you guys work with investors, our firm will give free consultations to your investors about why they should be buying the property in their personal name and then transferring it into an LLC to protect them. Because as an investor, they have personal assets, they obviously have great credit, and they have a lot of things to lose. If somebody slips and falls in their house or they burn down, knock on wood, the whole block, and their insurance policy doesn't cover, they're coming right in and taking away their personal assets, including that house. If that house is in its own individual LLC, it's shielding everything else. So we add a value add, we offer free consultations to your clients that are actually investors to teach them how to do that and make the maneuver. A lot of them don't want to buy it in the LLC's name because they can't get funded, because there's no credit there, right? So they have to buy it in their individual name and then transfer it into the LLC. And then Nikki's gonna talk to you guys in a minute about the value of a trust and protecting the assets for passing on. And so my firm and Nikki's firm work together. Our social medias, our phone numbers are on here, and on the back, you guys can follow us on Facebook or Instagram. It's on our cards, our QR codes. But really, we're just here to educate you and add a value add. Another thing that we offer is Nikki will offer free trust consultations to your clients that are buying homes. So right now, so many people that buy homes don't realize that it's gonna go into probate, they're gonna lose everything if it goes into probate, right? Nikki offers a free consultation, so that's a huge plus for you guys to tell your clients. That's gonna make you stand out, because these are things no realtors are talking about. But getting back to what we were here to educate you guys on, if you guys have any questions? I tried to streamline it today because this can really take an hour, but.
I want an appointment with you.
I'll make an appointment with you guys, and my office is literally right down the street, 215 in Flamingo.
Okay.
But I don't know if you guys have any questions. Another thing you can do, you can have your own retirement, you can have your own IRAs, you can do so many things if you have a good structure for that LLC.
Do you work with an accountant as well?
I do.
You have someone-
I have one that, so basically what I'm considered, like, I teach people how to leverage their network.
Sure.
I don't know if anybody follows me on social media, Vicki Greco, I'm pretty big with like my network LV. okay, a lot of different things, and so one of the things we do is we teach people how to leverage their network, take it to the next level. So we have a network for everybody that does everything. Are you grabbing Dave? And then that's another reason does anybody have any questions? So I really try to streamline this because it can get so confusing for people, right? And so, this is David Kohlmeyer. He brought the Einsteins and he sponsored the breakfast. He works with us. He's like our problem solver, literally, guys. And also he's a fabulous dad of 3, and his wife's a realtor. And I do all of his investment LLCs as well as all of, Vicki does all of his trusts and everything. So we all work together and we all work in networking groups and stuff like that. So if you follow him on his socials or us, you'll be able to also open yourself to a whole bunch of new people to meet, because that's what we do in the community.
Sure. Yeah, just don't want to bother you guys too much, just for 3 minutes. I'm Dave Coleman. I actually happen to be a retired police officer from Henderson, and also New York City. I was in NYPD for 4 years, came out after 9/11. I was a police officer doing community policing in Henderson. I used to actually teach a lot of the real estate classes for safety, so I used to come out and talk about safety, be careful in general. I just want to share a few things. One, basically, times are getting a little bit more crazy out there in general. I know there was a female realtor that basically had a situation, I think it was a model home. I think people need to be more careful. People are just a little bit crazier these days, whether it's economic times or social, what's going on, it just seems a little weird. So you want to be more careful. September 11th, which is a Sunday coming up, we work, basically the Las Vegas Legal Network is a network of attorneys, but we work with different groups. And we have someone that's teaching a free CCW class on a Sunday, basically, which is all day. Now, you don't have to be pro-gun or anti-gun, but the bottom line is if you want to be safe in general, you can sit through the class for free. It doesn't cost any money. We're getting a lot of realtors to come to the class at that, I think it's one of the libraries. But you sit through the class, you'll learn, be more prepared. If you want to get a firearm in general to have a CCW, you can follow through by going through, basically you have to go through, shoot a few rounds in general. But I do feel the class is really, really important. So even if you just want to sit through it, I have business cards that you can scan, go to events for September 11th, it's all day Sunday, you can go, it's free, there's no cost. When you go to the site, it talks a lot about veterans because we're doing a lot of veterans, but anyone that I speak with, I'm saying just use the link and you'll get it for free. So normally it costs like $150 to go through a class. So I recommend highly going to the class, especially with changing times. There's like tasers out there, people used to talk about pepper spray. There's other things that you can use, you don't have to have a firearm, so I do highly recommend if you guys want to come, take my card, go to the QR code, go to events, and just put name and information that's there. The other thing is, so I run a Las Vegas Legal Network, it's different attorneys. Car accidents, injuries, probate, real estate, employment law, whatever the issue may be, I try to basically match people with their problems or legal issues to the right attorney. Not every attorney is the perfect attorney for a case. So if you need help with that, I basically help everybody in general. 24 hours a day, you can call me 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, you can text me. I answer the call just like if I was a police officer still, like there's an emergency in general, I'm trying to help people. The other thing is also I have a TV show, which is Channel 14. With the raise of hands, how many of you guys still have Cox Cable? Anyone have Cox Cable at all? Okay, so technically there's 300,000 people that are, I guess, the last Cox Cable people. So I'm on Channel 14, Tuesday, 6 p.m. The show's called The Problem Solver. I basically bring different people on if you ever want to come on the show. If you deal with different nonprofits, you want to talk about real estate, mortgages, title companies, if you have something interesting to say, you can come on the show. We film it Thursdays, 4:30 to 6:30, 215 in Rainbow, behind the new UFC building. It's a studio called Stinky Pot Studio. So if you guys want to basically come out and even if you want to pop in for 5-10 minutes, you got something cool to say, we'll have you on the show. It goes on TV, it's on YouTube and stuff like that, Facebook. So it's kind of cool and exciting. It's been going on for about maybe about 16 months, but it's been on TV for 4 months. So that's basically it. The last thing is traffic tickets. Not that I want people speeding around, getting into car accidents, but if you have a speeding ticket or any type of ticket that's locally, we do have attorneys in the network that will handle the traffic ticket for free, which means they'll go to court, they'll fight it, they'll basically get it down to normally illegal parking with no points, insurance doesn't go up, stuff like that. So if you want help, the QR code, you can literally go and just scan it, and then go to legal issues, traffic tickets, you upload the ticket, you put your information, it goes to the attorney calls you, says, hey, I'll handle the ticket. It doesn't cost you any money if it's a local ticket. If it's California or out of state or who knows, unusual tickets, there's like a small fee for it. But the goal really is to help you guys not raise insurance. You guys are always driving around town, but to just don't try to speed again or get into an accident, right? That's the goal of it all. I always feel like as a retired cop,
You guys
like,
need his number?
yeah.
His number's on here, but
Yeah.
one of the things that I like to say about Dave is he's another value add. We like to give you guys value adds because, let's face it, there's 1,000, how many realtors actually in town?
18,000?
17,000. You guys need to make yourselves stand out. So here's the thing, I am not a licensed practicing attorney, but I do have a JD. But I have a lot of people always asking me questions that I don't wanna get involved in.
Sure.
I send a group text to David and that person, and I say, hey, David, meet Nikki, she was wondering about this. And it makes you stand out, not just for yourself, but to your clients, to your family, to your friends. Anybody has a question that you don't know the answer to, give it to David, he'll figure it out, that's what he does.
I mean, I always say, I mean, I kind of feel like I'm a retired cop helping people, so you can always say, hey, I have a retired cop that I'm friends with, who worked in Henderson, you know, why don't I give you his number, he can help you out. I don't charge anybody to refer people in general, and especially, I honestly really enjoy helping people, so to me, at the end of the night, I say, you know, I help several different people, I feel good about myself. I've always been doing it, you know, in general, so now that I'm retired, I'm still doing it whether it's on the show or in general. So if you guys wanna call me, my business cards are here on the way out. The 844 Lawyers basically is the toll-free number, goes to the network. The last thing I wanna leave you, I mean, I only have a few of these, but if you need more. The one thing I'll share with you, if you ever get stopped by the police, I mean, it's always nerve-wracking, you always feel bad, your heart starts pounding, like, you know, what did I do wrong? This basically is just it's a registration insurance holder. Basically, you wanna put your registration behind, I have about 6 or 8, I can get you guys more. And then you put basically your insurance and registration here. So if a cop basically pulls you over, you wanna be prepared. Cop doesn't wanna wait around, he's worried about his safety in general. So by having registration insurance together, you pull it out of the glove compartment, you give it to him in general. He'll say to take it out, they don't wanna take anything. It looks like maybe you're bribing somebody or doing something. So they're gonna want you to take it out, but at least it's prepared, everything together. Because the quicker that you are to the officer, the quicker that he's more likely to give you a warning, or to get you out of there in general. If you start like fumbling around, or I don't have my insurance, I don't have my registration, they're gonna get upset, they're gonna get annoyed, you're more likely to get a ticket, but if you're prepared, you're ready to go, you know, and just be very, very polite. Remember, I would never argue with a police officer on the road. You know, it's only a promise to appear when you basically get a ticket, you always go to court, or now you have me basically to have an attorney go to court anyway. So you shouldn't even have much conversation. I would never really speak to an officer, like they'll say, why did you pull you over? They ask, why did you pull you over? So I'm sorry, I don't know what I did, but I apologize for whatever. You never want to admit guilt to anything in general, right? So the bottom line is just be careful what you say and just make it very quick. If it gives you a ticket, it's not a big deal because I'm going to help you out anyway, right? So if you want, there's about 6 of these left you want to take. If you want more, I'll get you more. Any questions for me at all, or? Just to let you know, with the LLCs, I own about 16 places. I was big with Home Path and foreclosures back in the day, 2009 to 10, with leveraging and buying property. So they helped me basically with the LLCs and with the trusts in general like that. So I highly recommend every property if you have basically in a separate LLC for liability purposes, right? If someone tries to sue you. So all my properties are in separate LLCs. So that's the reason why I've hooked up with them, because I really do believe you're solving a problem. And the thing is, it's the what if for the future. 10 years from now, you may have someone try to sue you. And you want to protect yourself, whether it's a trust or whether it's an LLC, is extremely important. Get a question?
What is your phone number? Where's that?
So you can call the 844 Lawyers number, basically that goes directly to me, or if not, it goes to the answering service. So that's a toll-free number. And then on my card is my cell phone if you want to text. If you guys, I'll pass up these cards, but it's 702-400-7474. You can text me in the morning, 5 in the morning, I don't care. I think the number, yeah, so I take the business card for texting purposes. So if you want, September 11th, free traffic ticket representation, any problems, you can call me. You can refer me to others. You can give my number out to whoever you want. My number's out there. You can Google my name, click on images, video. I mean, I am out there as much as possible. So if you need help, I'm available anytime. I love answering questions, referring people to the right place. So it's just kind of a high for me. So any other questions?
And if anybody wants to give up, we don't want to like add you into our network of our emails and stuff, but anybody wants to be involved in being able to leverage a network with us, give us your business cards before you leave and we'll add you in and you'll get invited to all of the events that we put on. We do a lot in town.
Have you guys been seeing emails from Las Vegas Legal Network, because we do some lunches and different events? Have you been seeing that at all? Because there are emails that go out, you know, statewide as well, so. But just keep in touch if I can help.
Pardon?
I'll pass out some other cards as well, but thank you so much, guys.
Okay, and now Vicki Mooney of Elite Preparation Services is gonna just talk to you guys about the value add of what her company does with my company, and then if you guys do have investment people that come, you actually work with both of us, cause I do the LLCs, and then she does the title and the deed transfers.
Hi guys, how are you? Hi. I won't take much of your time either, because I know, you know, you guys have lives and stuff to do. So what I do is not just estate planning, I consider it life planning. So I had a friend who actually just went through a situation. She was buying a home for her parents, and right before they were getting ready to sign the contract, 3 days prior, thankfully, I did the estate plan. Her dad ended up in the hospital and went into ICU and had to be put into a medically induced coma. Because we did the estate plan, she had legal power of attorney to be able to buy the house for her parents and sign on her dad's behalf. Her mom, who has dementia, who she's caring for, she had to do all this all at once, but because she had proper legal documents in place, she was able to take care of everything and make sure the house did not miss a beat, everything was taken care of. We put the house into the trust, done deal. Another thing is that if clients are older, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but if they try to apply for benefits through any Medicare or Medicaid, if by any chance they need additional benefits, they make them spend down their assets because they have to basically be impoverished before they can actually receive additional coverage from insurance. So if the house is in their name, additional assets are in their name, the government says, you've got money, we're not gonna help you. Spend down everything and then we'll help you. There's ways that you guys can help your clients by having them put things into irrevocable trusts, which basically takes it out of their name to where it's protected, but most of the time it's their kids are in charge of things, so that way they can make sure that their parents are still living comfortably, they're not going through poverty, they still have their home, but they're getting the medical coverage that they need as well. So I help clients through all different ranges of things. My passion is helping seniors, but also helping people who have children. Because unfortunately, you see how crazy our world is right now, where accidents are a common thing, at least 10 per day, if not more. So unfortunately, there are a lot of people who don't make it home, and when they have children at home, now what? Assets are not properly titled. Sometimes when people are buying homes, they don't understand how they're taking title, that they put joint tenancy or just one person on the home, which means that spouse that's not on that deed is stuck going through probate. That's not fair. Now they have just lost their significant other, there's minor children at home, and now they're being told they have to go through probate and lose up to 40 to 50% of the home because it wasn't done properly. So having minor protection plans in place, so if God forbid something happens to them, who legally has authority to take the kids from going to CPS and make sure that they're cared for until we know the prognosis of the parents, or who is a legal appointed guardian that can handle the estate, the money, and make sure the children are raised properly, given the adequate amount of money that the parents decide to leave behind, and there's no issues. Of course, they'll be mourning the loss of their parents, but it'll be a lot less traumatic and stressful on them because they're not having to stress about money or who's caring for them or being put into a foster home with people they don't even know because things were not discussed legally and set up structurally with the family members that they choose.
Hey Vicki, I have something, so I don't know, does everybody here know the difference of what makes a house go into probate versus passing through a trust, the amount of the house? Explain that to them.
So there's 3 different levels of probate. So the easy probate is any asset where it's like $25,000 to $30,000. That's usually like in a bank account where there's no beneficiary on there. You have to file for a minor probate, which just basically means a judge is deciding who can legally be appointed on your estate. That's what that means. Anything over $100,000 or more goes through a full probate process, which means that it's going through the court systems, which now can take anywhere from 1.5 years to up to 3 years because of how far behind they are because of COVID. So what that means is that it publicly gets put, so let's say this is the Review Journal. The obituaries get published, right? So now every single creditor, so medical, credit cards, anything that you owe money to, they have a specific department that intentionally looks for the obituaries to see, ooh, that person died, they owe us money. It's public, which means they get to go to court and say, they owe me $10,000. Oh, you have $150,000 in medical bills? Who cares if you have insurance? We're going after your estate as well. They file claims on your estate, which means that they will get paid because it's a debt that you owed. So all of this, appraisers, because somebody has to come in and appraise what your estate is worth, attorneys, court fees, now all the claims that got filed, all that goes through a process. The judge says, okay, everybody gets paid. Now whatever's left, now we can decide what family members get it. you guys work so hard and your clients work so hard to make sure that they just have a home and a roof over their head and assets. You wanna just completely alleviate the court process. The government gets enough of our money. Why do we need to give them any more? So alleviating the probate process altogether saves your clients so much money in the long run, so they don't have to go through that headache.
And so when they're going to title, and they always ask you, how am I supposed to hold title if they're married? Right, and you can't answer it, now you have somebody to shoot them over to that will answer it for free. And make sure if they are married, it's being held the right way so that a trust maybe not be necessary, but for single people or unmarried people, if it goes into probate, 40% of the, it's $100,000, guys, not equity. Not equity.
So if there's a
It's
married couple,
$100,000, I don't think there's a house less than $100,000 in the state.
there's not even a condo.
Yeah. So everybody's going into probate immediately, and 40% of all their value is automatically lost to the fees if it's not done the right way. And she starts her rates, I think, at like $2,000 to $2,500, where the attorneys in town are doing it for like $5 to $10. So.
Yeah, so I am a licensed paralegal. I graduated from UNLV. I'm also licensed with the Secretary of State as a document preparer. I worked in a law firm, built the firm up to a multi-million-dollar law firm. If any of you guys know anything about a law firm, the lawyer's the face, the paralegals are the one that does all the work. Their name is put on it. So thanks to Vicki telling me, well, you're the one that does everything. Why don't you go out there? I wasn't really aligning with everybody who walked through the door. They were being sold something. It wasn't about helping them. So that's why I was like, I'm done. I want to help people. I care about people. I want to be out there making sure that people get the protection they need and not like, oh, I want this, but I can't afford it. It's not true. I have a couple of senior citizens that I work with that they're like, I just don't have any money. Pay me $50 a month. I don't care. You need these documents. So I work with people because it's very important that they have these documents in place, because the one thing that you don't want is for somebody to have their rights taken away. Imagine grandma and grandpa going into the hospital and somebody legally being appointed to have charge of them and completely just run their lives and they have no more say. Guardianship gets appointed on people when they think that they're older and frail and they don't have mental capacity to make decisions. And I've seen people do the most ridiculous things where they take their homes and they sell it and they put them into a nursing home facility and they say they've lost their mind and they sold all their assets and they're calling 911 saying they've been kidnapped and nobody believes them because they're elderly and they're in a senior home.
Oh my goodness.
So having documents in place says you can't do that. I have legally appointed somebody to care for me to avoid that from ever happening. So there's so many reasons why these documents are extremely important. So if any of your clients need my services, I'd be more than happy to help them. And I go to them also. I have an office, I do Zoom, I can go to them, which a lot of older clients really appreciate. I also help them with setting up what is called NV Lockbox, which is wonderful for the state of Nevada. It's a bank of healthcare documents that is filed with the Secretary of State. So God forbid that they're in an accident or if the first responders respond to their home, there's a letter that goes on the refrigerator that says, I have an NV lockbox. Every first responder knows that means that there's an 8-digit code that they run out to the ambulance, type in the code, all of their healthcare directive comes up along with, I put in their medications that they're on, the doctors they see, do they have a DNR in place? Because these are important things first responders need to know. This is just an added thing I do for clients because I want them to have the best life that they possibly can. So these are just little things that you guys have as tools to make sure that your clients are well taken care of, and even yourselves. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, awesome stuff. Does anybody have any questions for any of our speakers today?
I know it says Las Vegas Legal Network, but do you all network throughout the U.S. and other states?
He does a little bit, but generally he'll try to find somebody. Like he's a retired New York cop. We have contacts in Arizona. I have tons of contacts in California. We try. David will try. David's like a really good, like, he's got his 3 kids out there today, he takes care of everything, so he just tries to solve everybody's problems, he's just really a good person, he'll try to do anything.
Awesome. All right, we have a little drawing giveaway right now. Who did not sign up on this sheet? Terry's name, number 16. Rocio will be number 17. Who else didn't sign? Terry, Rocio. Kimberly. Anyone else? All right. What, yeah, exactly. All right, so what we have is we have a couple of Starbucks cards by Dwayne from Pulte. So we're gonna do the same. All right, first one is number 2. Who's number 2? Millie. Next one is number 9. Number 9, Carla.
Hey.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Anything good for the order?
If anybody does want to, I know a couple of you said you wanted to set up an appointment, I'll wait over here if you want.
Yeah, I'll definitely call you.
All right, then I have nothing else for you. Remember, no matter how you slice it, greatness is a choice. Let's go out there and be great.